1. Wait. Ayun. Play. Okay. Lagay natin doon. Yan. Para mas guwapo. Yan. Number 1. Pay attention. Initial stroke also when the pen comes off the paper but has not stopped and shows continuity of motion are as rule indications of unconsciousness of the details of the operation and point towards genuineness. Is it true or false? A, true. B, false. Initial stroke. When the pen comes off the paper but has not stopped and shows continuity, is this a sign of genuineness? If it is yes, write true. If it is no, write false. Or write letter only. A if it is true, B if it is false. Number 2, what is the third step in the investigation of anonymous letter? What is the third step in the investigation of anonymous letter? A. Study of the contents or messages in the letter. B. Careful listing of all probable and possible writers. Letter C. The comparison of the writings of the various suspected writers with the anonymous letter. Or letter D. None. Next, number 3, abbreviated, distorted, and illegible forms which are sufficiently free and rapid often actually indicate genuineness rather than forgery, even though they are very unusual and not exactly like those in the standard writings. A. True. B. False. Number 4. Kung hindi nyo makuha yung tanong mag-back read na lang kayo mamaya. Number 4. Divergence in form indicates letter A. Forgery. B. Falsification. C. Alteration. Or letter D, natural handwriting. Number 5. Do not conduct an investigation in conference. Each investigator should conduct his own and independent investigation. For this reason alone, documents should not be marked as to indicate previous examiner's view on matters being investigated. Letter A, true. Letter B, false. Do not mark the document as to indicate previous examiner's view. Is it true or false? Next, number 6. Blank. Blank are changes which usually affect the original meaning of a document made either at the stage of preparation and are already parts of the document when it is signed, sealed, and witnessed or fraudulently altered after its execution. A. Alteration. B. Obliteration. C. Intercalation. Or letter D. Substitution. Changes which usually affects the original meaning of the document. Is it alteration, obliteration, intercalation, or substitution? Next, number 7. Methods used in illustrating trace forgeries. Methods used in illustrating trace forgeries except letter A, actual measurement of the signatures to illustrate identity. Letter B, superimposition of the signatures by transmitted light. Letter C, taking photographs of the signatures and producing transparencies as to easily superimpose one over the other. Or letter D, none of the above. Methods used in illustrating trace forgery. A, B, C, or D. Next, number 8. What is the first step in the investigation of anonymous letter? What is the first step in the investigation of anonymous letter? A. Study of the contents or messages in the letter. Letter B. Careful listing of all probable and possible writers. Letter C. The comparison of the writings of the various suspected writers with the anonymous letter. Or letter D. None. First step in the investigation of anonymous letter. Next, number 9. Natural writing becomes so nearly automatic that it is an almost conscious act. Letter A, true. Letter B, false. Next, number 10. Press 10, gentlemen, ladies. Press 10 tayo. Press 10. Magic word, press 10. Next, number 10. Free-flowing movement indicating, letter A, good handwriting coordination. Letter B, freedom of writing. Letter C, speed in writing. Or letter D, good written. Press 10 SS, press 10 SS. Good written. Okay, let's proceed to 11. A signature actually produced by the cooperation of two hands and two minds will usually show evidence of unnaturalness in the signature itself. That is blank. A. Inconsistent with forgery. B. Consistent with forgery. Letter C. Both are correct. Or letter D. None is correct. Signature actually produced by the cooperation of two hands and two minds usually show evidence of unnaturalness. Next, number 12. Opposite characteristics of a genuine guided hand signature. A. Smoothness and continuity. B. Skillful shading. Letter C. Good pen control. Or letter D. All of the above. Opposite characteristics of a genuine guided hand signature. A. Smoothness and continuity. Letter B. Skillful shading. Letter C. Good pen control. Or letter D. All of the above. Number 13. Which one? Okay. Which one is the most common symptoms of forgery? Which one is the most common symptoms of forgery? Letter A. Divergence in form. Letter B. Drawn and hesitating quality of stroke or line. Letter C. Both of the above. Or letter D. None of the above. Number 14, intermediate stroke, where pen comes off the paper has not stopped showing continuity of motion. A. This indicates consciousness of the details of the operation and point towards the crime of forgery. Letter B. This indicates unconsciousness of the details of the operation and point toward genuineness. Letter C. Under condition of weakness due to disease, age, or letter D. None of them is correct. Huwag palilito sa huwag palilito. Huwag maniniwala sa sabi-sabi, okay? Huwag maniniwala sa sabi-sabi. Number 15. Number 15, from the moment that the genuineness of the document is questioned, it should be handled in care for in a manner that will impair in the slightest degree the value as evidence. A. True. B. False. Number 16. During examination under the microscope, extra care should be observed not to mutilate document. A. True. B. False. Number 17. What is the second step in the investigation of anonymous letter? Kanina yung nauna first step eh. Ito naman second step. Letter A, study of the contents or messages in the letter. Letter B, careful listing of all probable and possible writers. Letter C, the comparison of the writings of the various suspected writers with the anonymous letter. Or letter D, none of them. Next, number 18. Signature produced with a guided hand must blank in writing quality to the usual, normal, healthy writing of the one assisted. A. So what is the missing word there? A. Not to be superior. B. Be superior. Letter C. Accurate. Or letter D. Not be accurate. Signature produced with a guided hand must blank in writing quality to the usual, normal, healthy writing of the one assisted. Ano dapat ang kailangan dyan? A. Not be superior. B. Superior. C. Accurate. Letter D. Not be accurate. 19. Writing of any kind that indicates that the writer was not thinking about the writing is, letter A, indication of forgery. Letter B, evidence of genuineness. 20. The writing of signature is an ordinary act requiring little attention and little care as to the condition of the pen he or she will be using when one is asked to write his or her signature without writing experimental signatures. A. True. B. False. Is it an ordinary act requiring little attention and little care? Is it true or false? Number 21. This is where the motion of the pen precedes the beginning of the stroke and continues beyond the end to the vanishing point, which is found in free natural writing, and as a rule an important indication of genuineness? A. Flying starts. B. Flying finishes. C. Both. Or letter D. None. Medyo madali ang self-evaluation natin ngayong araw. 22. To great majority of writers, the writing of signature is an blank, requiring little attention and little care as to the condition of pen he or she will be using when one is asked to write his or her signature without writing experimental signatures. What is the missing word or words? A. Extraordinary act. B. Letter B. Ordinary act. Letter C. Habit. Or letter D. Vice. Signature is a blank requiring little attention. Extraordinary act, ordinary act, habit, or vice. 23. Blank also where the pen comes off the paper but has not stopped and shows continuity of motions are as a rule indication of unconsciousness of the details of the operation and point toward genuineness. A. Intermediate stroke. B. Initial stroke. C. Backward stroke. Or letter D. Forward stroke. 24. Abbreviated, distorted, and illegible forms which are sufficiently free and rapid often actually indicate forgery rather than genuineness, even though they are usually unusual and not exactly like those in the standard writings. A. True. B. False. Last number, 25. Characteristics of a genuine guided hand signature. A. Very uneven alignment. Letter B. Very inconsistent spacing and certain abrupt changes in direction. Letter C. Entirely disconnected and unnecessary strokes and a general decrepitude. 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 D. All of them. Okay, so natapos na natin. Kung nasagutan nyo lahat, mayroon tayong link dyan kung saan isasubmit nyo ang inyong mga kasagutan. Para sa mga nagre-review for the board exam, the answers or the key to correction will be going to post in our description box a few hours from now. Okay? So, sa mga nag-e-exam, take note, you have to submit your answer not later than 5 o'clock this afternoon. Take note, no more extension. 5 o'clock this afternoon. Otherwise, you will be given another set of questions through a paper pencil type of examination. Okay, I repeat, submit your answer not later than 5 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, so kung wala na tayong ibang gagawin at wala kayong ibang katanungan, we have to call it now the day and see you again next meeting. Okay?